we started making music, and I love the idea of traveling and singing and bringing you songs. But one of my biggest inspirations has always been Woody Guthrie, right? This Land Is Your Land being the song that everybody knows. And so I'm going to sing you a song I wrote about Woody, or not about Woody directly, but it was in March of this year, and I was just getting ready to start recording this newest album, This Chain it's called. And I woke up one morning with this idea for a song in my head about, oh, this kid is remembering how his dad used to sing Woody Guthrie songs to him and his brother when he tucked them in at night. And it was in those minutes of consciousness when you're half dreaming and half awake, right? And I was developing this storyline at 6 in the morning, and I was like, oh yeah, the kid is younger, and they're poor. They don't, he's a union man, of course, his dad, but his fortunes go up and down, and they share the same bed, and dad comes in and tucks them in and sings Woody Guthrie songs, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's the 60s, and Woody Guthrie died on October 3rd, 1967, after a 12-year struggle with Huntington's disease, right, which robbed him of his ability to sing or perform in the last 10 years of his life. And then it's the 60s, and of course the Vietnam era is going on, right? So all that developed, and then I realized I had to go to work that morning and sing for some nursing homes. So I was like, I can't work on this song today. But that spark, as a songwriter, you want to, when that spark hits you, usually want to go and write that song because it doesn't last sometimes, and it doesn't come back to you. Well, I knew in 3 weeks I was going to be down in Florida at Ballarat, which is the home of Stetson Kennedy, where Woody Guthrie lived for 3 months outside Jacksonville, Florida. Stetson Kennedy was an author who had exposed the Ku Klux Klan. He went undercover and joined them in the late 1940s for 2 years, and then wrote about them and turned their records over to the FBI. And Stetson was a friend of Woody's. He met them in New York City. And Woody had gone there in 51 and spent time there. But when he went back in 53, he didn't know Stetson had cleared out and moved to Europe, where he lived for 7 years, because the KKK was trying to kill him. And they'd burn the grass, they'd set fire to the woods around his home, and they'd threatened him many times. So Woody got down there and lived in an abandoned bus for 3 months, wrote songs, and it was one of his last rambles before Huntington's disease took over. Well, anyway, I knew I was going to be at Ballarat in 3 weeks, and I said, I better wait till I'm there. I'd been there before on an artist fellowship, and they allow you to come back anytime that it's available, as long as there's no other artists there. They only do 6 residencies a year, typically. And magically, I was going to spend 2 nights there after doing some concerts near Jacksonville, Florida. And the second day, this song got written, Tell Me About Woody Again. My brother, Jim, was my hero. I followed wherever he led. Though there were 6 years between us, still we shared the same bed. My father, he was a good union man, though his fortunes, they rose and fell. Home most nights to tuck us in tight, singing songs that we knew so well. There were hobos and unions, Robin Hood thieves, pictures of places that I'd never seen, and we always sang This Land Is Your Land. They traded each verse to the end. When we were done singing, Jimmy would cry, Daddy, tell me about Woody again. Remember 1967, so long ago though it seems. I had just turned 11, Jimmy was still 17. And I remember the night that my father cried when he came in to tell us that Woody had died, and we sang those songs until his tears had dried, and then he kissed us goodnight. When we sang This Land Is Your Land, we traded traded each verse to the end. When we were done singing, Jimmy had said, Daddy, tell me about Woody again. Tell me about Woody again. And I can't forget that cold morning, the day that everything changed. A letter for Jimmy came in the mail, and then he was going away. My father, he was a strong man, though he never would be the same. I knock on the door, I found him on the floor with only the water lane. But I've got these images stuck in my mind, the innocent memories of an innocent time when we always sang, this land is your land. They traded each verse to the end. And when we were done singing, Jimmy would cry, Daddy, tell me about Woody again. Tell me about Woody